For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a really cute, simple Shamballa style bracelet. And you can use like just about any kind of stringing material that you want. I prefer synthetics because when you get to the end, you can like melt the, when you do your last knots, you can melt them. But if you want to use like a cotton cord like I used here, you will have to put like some kind of glue at the end so that it doesn't come apart. And most of the time when I make just a simple a Shamballa style bracelet, I use faux leather. And the reason is because it's strong, it's durable, and I put a slide knot made with faux leather as well, and it just like opens and closes really nicely. And another thing that's really important, when you put your beads on, see how the hole size is pretty close to the thickness of the cord. Really important because um, you don't want to put like a large whole bead like this and then do your macrame, because the beads will, like, because since the cord needs to be wrapped around the bead, it's going to end up popping out. So just keep that in mind. You can, if you're going to do that, you could like double or even triple the cord that goes inside if you want to, make a, if you want to make a Shamballa style bracelet with a larger whole bead. And right now, the way I do mine, actually, when I make them, I make a bunch of them at once because I just like, I string all the beads onto the cord. Like right now, I honestly, I don't know how many I'm going to need. That's one of the nice things, is you can like figure it out as you go. So what I do is I measure 7 inches for the end, because I never really know, like maybe 7's too much, but I always do 7 because, sometimes I think I'm going to do a moose knot or like fluffers or something. So I usually like start at the end here, clip it right here, and then I start with my macrame business. So I'm just going to put a few beads on. I'm just going to clip this right there. So you can see let me scoot my board down so I can clearly show you what I'm doing. I'm going to do the macrame with faux leather as well. This one is a 0.8, but like I said, you could use any cord you want, and I'm going to measure out 45 inches. I haven't made these in a long time, so it's gonna, like, let's see if 45 is right. I think it's right. It's just been like a really long time since I've made one. So what I do is, I start with what I call, I mean, my little mnemonic is top, bottom, top, bottom. So when I start, I uh, put the cord in like this, and this cord here goes over and then like through the loop on the left. And let me make sure, you want to make sure they're even, and if it's not, it's kind of scooted down, because you don't want one side longer than the other. So that is like what I call a top knot. Now I'm going to do a bottom, so you come down, and then this one goes under, like that, and then you're going to feed it through the loop on the left side. Top, bottom, then I do another top, like that, and then a bottom. So under, and then no, regardless what, you'll always go through the loop on the left, whether it's like a top or a bottom. And the reason I start off with 4 is because when you get to the end, you need to do 4, and I like it to be like balanced. So let me get my focus right there. So then you just slide a bead down, and then you do a top. And then you do a bottom. See that? And then this cord is going to go over that side. And you can get creative. You could do like more macrames in between, but for just a simple like Shamballa style, I'm just going to, And then you just repeat. It's just going to be top, bottom, bead, top, bottom, bead. So here's the top, bottom, and bead. And these, I'm using, I think these are a 10 millimeter, but you can use any size you want. I mean, that's a nice thing about this style of bracelet. It's just so forgiving. I mean, no matter what you use, it just, everything looks good. So there's the bottom. Snug it down and slide it. When I make these, you know, then I'm gonna let me get some more beads on. I mean, I can make, I mean, not including the macrame slide knot, just doing this part, I can make 10 of them in an hour. And that's because you're doing it like production line work, because since you already have all your beads like strung on, you just, you know, go 7 inches out, do your macrame, cut 7 inches off, and just like move on to the next bracelet. So it's pretty quick. You slide your bead. And there, I don't have any other like tips or tricks for this, because this was just really, really simple and straightforward. Slide it down, and then you repeat. Ooh, it's looking pretty already. Ooh, I like it. All right. And I've made these, oh my goodness, with I think every kind of string material known to man. Leather, faux leather, wax jewelry cord, cotton cord. And then, you know, if you're not sure, if you just don't know, like, is it long enough? Okay, so what you want to do, because remember, you need to add the slide knot, and that's going to add about an inch. Whoa, let me scoot. So you want to make it, and don't measure it on the board, measure it around your wrist. Really important, because sometimes what you get on the board does not match what goes around your wrist, especially with larger beads. So you know what? I'm just gonna try it just to see, and I think I'm gonna do one more, because if I were to finish now, it would be pretty, but I want it to be a little bit like have one more bead. So let's get one more bead on there and slide it. And the good news, the 45 inches added, oh, no, it was perfect. That's it. So 45 inches. And you can, I mean, you have a little left over. Maybe you want to go maybe 42 just to preserve your cord. But if you want to make it longer, then the 45 inches is plenty. So that's it. Okay, so now it's really important when you come to like make the little melt spots, you need to make sure that you make when you cut off, you know, your leather big enough. So you want to hold it tight, because this thing could come, you see how it's kind of like loose? You don't want to like make a melt knot when it's loose. You want to hold it tight, hold it on this side so it doesn't come loose, and then just come in here, and not too big, but not too small. I mean, that's probably a little bit bigger than what I wanted, but that's okay. I think it's going to work. You just want to come in and just kind of go brush back and forth, and then concentrate in the middle, and just wait like a second or two, and then just tap it down. And see that? It's going to really hold. And then you do this side. Then you turn it around, fluff it out. And the reason I fluff it, because I learned over the years that the fluffed ones, they just melt faster. And I'm going to tap it down. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to cut off about, 7 inches. It's probably like too much, but you know. Actually, I didn't even cut off 7 inches. I cut off 4. But I think I'm still good. But I always, like I said at the beginning, I always like do a little extra just in case I change my mind. Perfect. See, so I'm going to put my macrame slide knot here. Ooh, it's looking pretty. So now we are going to put a couple of clips together, and then we're going to crisscross these over and clip this in the hang on, let me get this clipped. And I'm going to come back with the faux leather again, 16 inches. My rule of thumb for any macrame slide knot that I make, just so I don't have to think about it all the time, 16 inches. And believe it or not, we're going to macrame just exactly like we did before, except this time it's not going to have any beads. So it's going to be the top, which is, you come in this way, fold it like this, and then you're going to feed this cord in through that hole right there. Okay. So there's a top, bottom, top. And I make these until, that's too short. I usually make them till they're like 3/4 of an inch to an inch, because I just think it looks better. And sometimes the faux leather want to like pop out, so you just gotta, kind of wiggle it into place. So we're gonna do this one. See how it's wanting to like pop out? But don't put glue, because that'll ruin it. Because if you put glue on a slide knot, you run a very high risk of gluing the slide knot to the cord that it's supposed to slide on. That's happened to me, because back in the day, when I was trying to figure out like how to do a slide knot on leather, I had that problem, and so I do not. I rarely ever put slide knots on leather. I think that's perfect. That looks nice. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna not like death grip type, but just snug so it doesn't pop out. I'm gonna fluff it. And just so you know, not all stringing materials will fluff. Like this one I did with the wax jewelry cord, and you just melt it just like as it is. It's the faux leather that fluffs. And I think another cord that I imagine it. Ooh, I don't want to burn my finger. It would work really, really well with this is the repeat cord from a Beadle-On, because this stuff it holds a knot really, really well. This stuff is like, you need a knot, this stuff really works. Okay, so let's see what we have, and it's perfect. Okay, let's close it. Ah, very nice. Look at that. And let me zoom out. The tough part, like, what am I going to put on the end? Okay, so the next thing you need to do is you need to put the stop knot. So let's get that out of the way. And what I like to do is I open it. I like my dangles to be as short as possible. So I kind of do this just to get it on. Just the length. I could probably go a little bit shorter. Let's see, I'm gonna put it on again. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna take it off. And the slide knot's gonna be crooked. So you wanna hold the cords so they don't budge, and then you wanna scoot the slide knot down. So till it's centered. So you look at it and you're like, is that centered? Perfect. And then you make an overhand knot on this side and then one on this side. So that's easy to do. So just get a post and just make an overhand knot like that. Let me get this focused. And just slide it over to the base of the slide without like moving it. Try not to like get it to like budge or move or anything. So that way it's perfect. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Oops. Take that out and tighten it. Make sure, okay, now that I remember, make sure and leave like about 7 inches because you need this thing called leverage because now I need to like tie a knot on this side and I don't know, man. I'm kind of like thinking I'm not gonna have enough cord here. So let me see what I have. Let's see what we have in all those. Let's see what we have that might look pretty. Pearls, nah. Something black maybe? Yeah, let's go with something black. Here's this one and that one. Perfect. And these can be larger holes since we're not macrameing on them. We are putting the knots. So I'm going to put my post here, or you could use a knotting awl. I mean, whatever is more convenient for you. Okay, maybe I think I'm going to opt for the knotting awl because when you do this one, you want to get it nice and super, super, super tight because you don't want you don't want like you don't want it to be like loose. So I'm going to make sure and tighten this down. And I'm going to come in here, fluff that out, and I'm going to melt it. Just wait a second because you don't want to burn your fingers. Okay. Okay, now I gotta contend with this side. I hope I have the leverage that I need. I think I might. I mean, it's gonna be cutting it close, but I think I got it. Okay. All right. Well, okay, so there. You could go with 6 inches maybe, you know, it depends on, I mean, I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm gonna get a pair of pliers. If this happens to you, here's a tip. Hang on, let me see what I got here. Anything that grips. Here we go. All right. Because my fingers are gonna slide off of that. So I just don't have enough leverage there to make that knot nice and super tight. Okay, so you trim this off, fluff it out. I just think that also another thing about the fluffing, it just makes a rounder like melt spot. All right, and that is it. Ta-ta. Let's check it out. Oh, it's perfect. Oh my goodness, check it out. And just remember, I mean, there's a lot you can do with this. You could do 2 macrames in between. Let me see if I have any. No, I don't have anything handy where I had like several macrames, but you could do like just a cluster in the middle. But of course, you'll need more macrame cord because when you don't have beads and you have to do a lot more macrame, then you need just more cord. But for the most part, for something like this, 40 to 45 inches of cord. So that is how you make a Shamballa style bracelet.